Hello everybody, this is Zoe from No Safer Place and I am here with a review you've probably been waiting for if you've been a subscriber for a while. I actually got sent this book a few weeks ago now and I was in a real reading slump. I haven't been very happy this past lockdown. We got put in lockdown again in December, I think it was. We were the first people in tier 4. I got the book around that time and I just had no motivation to read whatsoever. But I have now. And when I finally picked it up, I finished it in 4 hours. It is, of course, A Vow So Bold and Deadly. Now, this is the third book in the Cursebreaker series. I have reviewed the first 2 books on this channel. I am absolutely obsessed with this series and I'm so excited to get talking about it, so let's get reviewing. I got notes, like so many notes going on right now, 6 pages of notes, so let's get going. I don't want to make this like an hour long. As I say, if you know me, you will know that I adore this series and that I will die on the hill of Team Ren forever. And this book pretty much solidified that forever. Like, I am ride or die Ren. I know that's like not common. Everyone I know seems to like Grey and be on Team Grey. So if you're on Team Ren, please let me know so we can fangirl about him together. So this book pretty much starts where we left off and it's building up to the moment that we have been waiting for, the battle between Ren and Grey. I must say, after reading this book, it's the first time I've ever really felt any kind of sympathy for Grey and any kind of connection to him. I mean, I've never disliked him like at all, but I've never really felt any feelings towards him at all. But I agreed with some of his choices. I understood kind of how he felt and I really connected to him on this book, which made it even more exciting because although he would never come anywhere close to Ren, it was kind of exciting to be having feelings for both of them. It doesn't matter how much we see other places and how lovely they seem and beautiful they sound, Emberfall will always have a special place in my heart, and not just in the Cursebreaker series but anywhere. It just feels so special to me and so magical. Like, the world building was so perfect in the first 2 books that I just connected to this place in a way that I haven't in any other book, especially as I'm not a massive fan of fantasy because I find it really difficult to immerse myself in that world unless it's done amazingly, which of course Bridget does in this book amazingly. Let's start with Ren, shall we? The Tortured Prince. In this book, now more than ever, that title is fitting to him. What I just admire about him in this book is he's just so wounded and so vulnerable, which makes him feel like almost exposed, but he is still wanting to do the right thing. And not for himself, but for the sake of Harper and for the sake of all of his people. And I just find that so admiring. Just yearns to make things right and fix the damage that he's caused, and I just love him so much. He is so pure. We also get a bit of the sarcastic side of Ren, which I've actually really missed. He was so much like that in the first book, and then in the second one not at all, and then in this one there's just little glimpses of it which showed me that he was coming back to himself and finding himself again, which I really loved because sarcastic Ren is my favourite Ren. Whilst we're talking about Ren, let's talk about that scene where he is dressing Harper. This review isn't going to be going into detail about the plot or anything like that, but there is going to be a few little spoilers about scenes, so if you don't want to know a single thing about the book, please don't watch any more of this review. But as I say, there is a scene where he is dressing Harper, so he's not even taking clothes off, he's literally putting them on for her, and it is the sexiest scene that I have ever read. Like, it is way sexier than any Sarah J Maas graphic sex scene I've ever read. So yeah, take note, Sarah J Maas. Like, things can be sexy without going into graphic detail of flicking someone's bean. Now, let's talk about Lilith. Damn, I absolutely despise her. And not in the way that I usually despise villains. I usually adore them, I love to hate them, they're usually my favourite characters in the book, but damn, I just hate this woman. The torture and pain that she causes in this book is just immeasurable. And my poor Ren, what she does to him, Could we hate her anymore? Yes, we can after reading this book. Harper takes a bit of a backseat in this book. Now for me, she's always been the main character. So the first one was Harper and Wren, and the second one was Harper and Grey. And then this one, it just doesn't seem like she's a main character. I mean, she is, of course. She has just as many chapters as Grey, Wren and Liamara, but I just feel like the female characters, Harper and Liamara, take a step back in this book, and the book is very much about Grey and Wren and their fractured relationship and if they can rebuild it, what's happening between them. And I feel like this is probably one of my favourite in the series for that reason. I think this book really brought Team Wren and Team Grey fans together in some kind of middle. Like, we still have our favourites, don't get me wrong, again, dying on Team Wren, but I understand why people would like Grey and why people might be Team Grey, which I think this book has done really well. And as ever, a disabled main character in Harper, like, I'm all here for it. She is brave, she is heroic, she's also flawed, which I love. And yeah, I love Harper, and that is the main reason why I read this book in the first place, because disabled main character representation is so important to me, being disabled myself. Zoe is a real secondary character, but her grit and her strength is something I really admired in this book. She's barely in it, so she has a few moments but not many at all compared to the other characters, but I just really love her, and she goes through a wild ride in this book. No spoilers, but wow, she's got me feeling things. Isaac, so you all know how much I love Isaac if you've watched my previous reviews. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but no words, absolutely no words. Once you've read it, please leave comments below, because I got feelings, don't want to spoil the video, but Isaac. Liamara. I have very conflicting views about Liamara in this book. It's strange because she's one of the 4 main characters, but I have very little connection to her. I feel sorry for how her sister treats her, and I love that she is a queen who is so emotionally available and so open. I don't know if it's because Grey and Wren took such a step forward in this book that the other characters seemed a little bit insignificant to me, but yeah, I didn't feel the same connection to her that I did previously. I don't want to give too much away about the plot, because we all know that it's been building up to this battle between Wren and Grey, but the fighting scenes, the battles are just epic. I think because the world building was so brilliant in the first 2 books, so that we didn't really need to focus that much on it in this one, because we were already so immersed and so familiar with everything that was around us that once things started happening, I could almost imagine myself there and feel what they were feeling, see what they were seeing, and that is a talent that Bridget has so well. Something about these books, I don't know, I've read 7 books this month and they've all taken me a few days to read. Like, I've not sat down and been able to blitz through a whole book, but I do with these books every single time. I finished it in 4 hours, as I said at the beginning of this video, because it is just so easy to read. It's just stunning, like absolutely stunning. I don't know if I struggled to first pick up this book and find motivation to read it because I was worried how it might end. The first 2 exceeded my expectations, especially the second, because I really thought that was going to be middle book syndrome. So I was like, something's got to be wrong here. There's got to be something wrong with this series. So I was kind of worried that it wouldn't live up to how I wanted it to be. But let me tell you, it was better than I expected. It was just so satisfying. There was enough left unsaid that if there was any ever more exploration of this world, there would be plenty to uncover. But everything came together enough for me to feel satisfied, and like I've come away from that happy. I can't imagine anyone reading it and wanting a different ending to the one that we got, which I think is a massive thing to accomplish. I full on sobbed at some of the last chapters, like when you get that feeling in your throat when you're like, that's what I was like. It was just gorgeous and heartbreaking and beautiful. I was gonna read one of my favourite quotes. I think it was from, was it chapter 23? 32 or 32. It was right near the end, so whatever one of those is nearer the end, if there is a 32. But oh, I just sobbed. It was beautiful. Ren and Grey are just forever kings in my opinion. And I wish we got more of this world. I need more of this world because it is my favourite fantasy world ever. There was a little surprise at the end for Grey and Liamara. I'm not saying anything to spoil, but I need to know what happens there. Need to know what happens next for them because that was a surprise. Although I did get kind of suspicious that that surprise was happening about 2/3 through the book, so psychic there. And yeah, it was just pure perfection. Everything that I wanted. I love Ren so much, and there's still so much left to explore in this world. So Bridget, if you're watching this, please give us more, please, because I just need it. I can't imagine a January coming by and a Cursebreaker book not being in my hands, because I've got used to it for the past 3 years and it's been amazing. And I actually feel like I'm gonna cry because this may be the last ever video that I do on the Cursebreaker series, and yeah, I loved it. Let me know your thoughts. I love to discuss things in the comments, especially about books like this. Let me know if you like the ending. Let me know who your favourite character is, or if you haven't read it and you're gonna read it now. Although if you've watched this video not having read the first two, kind of spoilery for what happens in the first two. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that usual good stuff. Also, you can turn on the notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos, which is usually every Tuesday and every Saturday. I hope you all have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of on my channel, and I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye.